The Black Cellar. A group of treasure hunters follows a man to the outskirts of Caramore. He's dragging a corpse. He drags it to what appears to be some kind of sunken fortification, tower, maybe a grain silo. It's some kind of cylindrical structure, but partially submerged in the water and mud. There's a hole in the wall of this structure, and from a distance you watch for a time as the man goes inside the hole and then kind of worms the body into the hole behind him. You're here to investigate. Your burdens are one. What do you do?
So, as I was saying before, there's something very suspicious going in Caramore besides, the flooding as well. Someone tried to get bodies for eating.
And Rios actually has this recently bandaged stab wound, probably in his flank, some bloody bandages. But he's going to take out one of his torches because I imagine this basement is probably dark. Um, Light it up and also ask for the blessing of Lady the Golden Lamp to make sure that it won't go out.
Ah, indeed, it will not go out. Vero, as Rias gets the blessing of the Lady of the Golden Lamp on his torch, how can you tell this torch will not cannot be blown out by natural means?
Because you're on your way out of the water and there's water everywhere, I think I can see that the lamp is waterlogged. I mean, he's been carrying it through this flood zone and it's should not light,
Mm.
and yet it does, and it does without issue.
It's a torched, right, Rias, to be clear?
Torch.
Uh, yeah, yeah.
Fantastic. Well, you're all just standing
I,
outside. Yeah,
I'd
Mario,
like
what are you
to.
doing?
I'd like to get a hunt roll. I think.
You can certainly start
Specifically,
asking questions. Yeah.
yeah. I specifically, because I have a skill in homes. I'd like to know if I can use that to recognize what this building is. Like if it's a water silo, it's a grain silo. Whether there's an basement, what's going on.
Yeah. Go ahead and make the hunt roll, and because you have that skill, you can make it at two dice.
All right, give me a second. That's a 4.
Take your token. I will tell you that you can tell that it's a grain silo, but because of the burst dam and the flooding and the way it's affected the ground, that it has sunk quite a bit. So the point of entry of where this man drags the body would be probably like the halfway up the grain silo if it were still standing tall. So that means there's much more below, beneath the mud. Obeha, what are you doing?
I think because sort of just figuring out a plan because again this guy is going into this building and if it's sunk into the ground there might be water. So the question is who's going in the hole? I think I'm having this conversation with my compatriots.
So I have an
Rios
idea.
was already headed. Rios was already headed towards the hole.
Okay.
Oh well, then I guess the conversation doesn't need to be had.
I do have an idea about that. So Vero has survived the flood so far. We haven't seen him yet. We haven't seen Mari yet in the Profundal zone. He's survived by using his ritual writhe to turn a fallen tree branch, which has been swept along, into a sort of anaconda-sized serpent to which he has been clinging like a pool noodle, as he's also opened the cage around his neck, and the rats have kind of climbed up on his shoulders and one on his head. So he's probably navigated towards you, seeing you on dry land. But we could let the snake go down. If we're looking to follow whoever went down there, it's one way of getting some action down there without putting ourselves in danger, right?
We are probably going to need to go down. We're probably going to need to go down there eventually, one way or the other.
Yes,
But
eventually,
I
but
see the point about sending the snakes to scout.
yes,
Send a
because
scout at the very least. Anyone who's down there trying to doing something nefarious, well, they'd certainly get a surprise, gives us an advantage.
How
Mhm.
long will this take? There might be people down there that need help.
Oh well, not terribly long. Let it
Then
wriggle
go,
down,
do
see what
it.
happens. Yeah. All right. So uh, rather than sending this snake back into the water, Vera will sort of whisper to it and gradually just slumps over the edge of this what was once a window and thump 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 down. Does it land on anything? And
I mean, at this point, I think you're all still kind of outside the hole, and you haven't really seen what is inside the hole. You can certainly do a hunt roll right now, though,
yeah,
with the
Vera
snake
would
as
look.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, Vera would look in before just dropping the snake through. So
Make a 2 die hunt roll.
okay. So, 4.
The snake goes inside. You look inside, and you've got the snake getting ready to go in. In fact, you don't have to like look that far to realize that just a little bit inside the hole, it appears to be a kind of a wooden walkway or catwalk. You can see some stairs that go down, but kind of on the other side of this catwalk, which goes around the circular perimeter of the interior, you see the man with the body, and he's whispering to it. He says, "Oh, yes, yes. Everyone prefers the fresh meat, and I understand that. I mean, who wouldn't want? I mean, who doesn't love? I mean, who doesn't need fresh blood inside of their body? But I've rather grown fond of the pickled, just like you. Yes, the pickled flesh. Now, let's have a little taste before we bring you down into that dark, cold cellar. Just a little cut on the fingers. That's right. We have to hurry before the blood thickens, don't we? Mmm. Oh. Oh. Ah. Oh. Oh. Utterly delicious. The
Is it?
snake is going in, Barrow?
Um, I think before I drop the snake in, I'll pull my head back out of the hole. Did I see anyone else? I mean,
No.
Rios was worried about
It's
prisoners and
just a
things
little
like that.
wooden walkway, some stairs that go down, and he's on the walkway sucking on the fingers of this corpse.
Pull my head back out of the hole. This guy's crazy.
Is he just? Do you think he's distracted enough that he won't? It sounds like he's preoccupied with the corpse. Think he's distracted enough? Might be able to tell him.
I would
You're
say
muted,
so.
Jason.
Yeah, I would say you could certainly like get the jump on him, or even sneak past him. To be honest, if you don't want to deal with him.
This is going downstairs. We could wait for him to go downstairs.
I think.
No, I'm gonna go in and kill him.
Uh, well, I don't know about killing him. I think that like he may need some killing, but I do want to see. He seems like he's taking the corpse to other people, so I'd like to tail him and see where he's going. But I do think it's probably best for us to get rid of him before he gets to whoever he's looking for.
Eventually, he will start dragging the corpse down the stairs after he's had his taste.
Who's going in first?
Do we get the snake in there? Should we send the snake first? I think Vera wouldn't do it without others saying it's a good idea.
We are wasting time.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Beha's going in first.
Okay, I'll go in second. I'm a bit squishy, so I'd rather not go in alone.
I guess Rias will follow in after Maria.
Right, all of us.
Obeha, what are you doing as you presumably quietly, slowly go down the stairs?
Mhm.
I'll say you have a new set goal now. Your set goal is to locate the altar of the witch,
Oh, okay.
or the shrine of
think
the witch, I should say.
I think as like I sort of quietly just pull myself through. I have my gnarled staff at the ready, and I'm gonna sneak up a this guy as he's like sucking on the fingers of this corpse and just whack him over the head.
Well, he's dragging the body now at this point,
Yeah,
but
okay.
it's the same
All
thing.
right, that yeah. While he's dragging the body, I'll whack him over the head.
Um, is this a risk roll? I don't think so. You can do it. Yeah, just describe knocking him out.
Yeah, I think as like he's like probably saying more creepy stuff to the corpse about being excited about how it's pickled, but it's like the right fermentation or whatever. I think like I just like we see like this sort of like from the camera angle of like him like his face and then like a looming figure behind him and then whack he falls unconscious as like Obeha is standing over him.
He slumps up against the wall. The stairway goes down to an actual floor,
Mm-hmm.
not just a walkway. And as you go down, actually, as soon as you enter, you're immediately aware of this really wonderful smell. And it stands out because all of the smells up to this point in Karamor and the Drowned Lands have been the smell of waterlogged flesh, of mud, of decay. But here we have the smell of a stew, perhaps, something warm and inviting. And indeed, as you're going down, you can see that in the center of this room, there's a great large cauldron with something bubbling away in it. You all can kind of take a moment on the stairs before you go down immediately or directly into the floor. I'll just go around the table. Mario, what are you doing?
Uh, okay, so the ritual ghoul animates dead body. How can I reasonably use that to tell what's in the stew? Like if I can if can I sense if there is a body in there? Because I have the power to reanimate bodies.
It's people they're cooking. Yeah, I'll just tell you that. Vera, what are you doing?
I now have two hunt tokens because I had a bank token from the last delve. I want to trade one of those in for gold, meet my burdens right away. I think I'm the last one into the building, and I'm looking around trying to. Now that it's not quite so urgent.
I think your snake is to essentially drawn to the coin pouch on the body that was not taken from the body, and there is enough silver in it to equal 1 gold. You can see its little snake head bumping and making the little ching 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 sound against the coins.
Give the snake some scritches while
Indeed,
take
you can
the pouch.
swipe it. Rias, what are you doing?
Looking for trouble. Looking for possible ambushes or traps. do I get the sense that this place was established before the floods?
Make a hunt roll.
Okay. Um, uh, other than just being able to see things better because it's lit torch, I've got darkness symbols. Maybe I could
Yeah,
identify.
I think it works. Yeah.
Sure. Control. Too light. It's a 3.
I'm going to take the fiction.
Sure.
You, while Maria is sensing that they are indeed cooking people in the pot, and while Vero is lifting coin pouch from the dead body, as Abeja is carefully situating the cannibal so he does not fall and alert anyone, Rias, you carefully pad down to this floor. And I will tell you, your question was a good one. Was this happening before the flood? The answer is yes, because there are markings on the walls, symbols made in charcoal, blood, feces, smeared on the wall. Symbols, it's unclear what they're referencing, but there's a lot of them. And this flood has only been going on for like less than 48 hours, right? So that said, the dam bursting and flooding these lands unearthed quite a lot of evil. As you are looking at the markings on the wall and everyone else is doing what they're doing on the stairs, you hear, "You can't be in here. You don't belong in here. Stay away from my stew." And a man wearing an apron, looking quite bedraggled, hair frizzy and wild, leaps out from under the stairs at Uriah Silsmat. He is brandishing a meat cleaver and he slings it down at you. Please tell me how you're exposed to danger and roll weak point.
I have a spear in close quarters.
Not great. Go ahead and roll weak point.
Mm-hmm. Weak point is 2.
Go ahead and make a combat 1. He's an endurance 6.
It is a 6.
Nice. Describe how you take him out.
So Rias, he comes at Rias. Rias dodges this, falling cleaver, and uses the butt of his spear to just sort of like jam it against him, sort of like a jab equivalent. And the guy like staggers back a little. Rias still doesn't have the room to close, so he pushes back on him, and it's this fight in this narrow silo. And while he's pinned against the wall, Rias actually reaches back. He's holding him in place with one arm, reaches back, draws an arrow out of his quiver, and stabs it into his eye.
Nice. Make a gold 6.
Okay. 1.
Nice. He has been collecting rings and jewelry from the victims. It equals 1 gold in total. Abeja, what are you doing? In that right after that attack, like after everyone catches their breath, because it happens very quickly. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Then?
Yeah, like I think with that, like if there's any other people to the silo, they have been alerted. So like I just let the body like instead of it just being hung nicely like by the wall, it just like slumps over. And like I'm just gonna go downstairs with Rias just to see if like there's any other things. Like does it go down even further? Like or is it just
make a hunt roll. Questions are asked.
This is probably a weird one, but since Rias does have a torch, could I technically benefit from that?
Yes.
But in terms of questions, I would say, is there anyone else in the in the building.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. You can take two hunt rolls or 2 hunt dice.
A 6.
Take a token. Yes, you definitely hear sounds coming from beneath your feet. Mario, what are you doing?
Didn't realize. Oh shit! Didn't realize I was muted. I think at the moment I'm probably how like what is the status of the water here? That's a weird question to ask, but like is
It's a stone silo, and it appears the ground just sort of like sucked it down. And so it's actually relatively dry. The water has not started to flow into the hole yet, and to start. I mean, it's generally damp, I would say, but you can tell at a glance that it's just quite dry.
all right. Let me clarify my question slightly more.
Hmm?
If, for example, we were to get into a combat and I was to use my Leviathan ritual,
Hmm.
would I be able to get the sea monster to a place where it could affect the combat easily?
No, I don't think so. I think because it's too small of a space, I think it would be more of a danger to you, if anything, if it managed to somehow come into
Damn
the
it!
silo from below.
Damn it! I was thinking this was be the perfect time, but it clearly isn't. Uh, anyway,
Too
so
small, too small, too tight, too
uh,
stone.
right. So in that case, I guess I'm just sort of following along with everyone
You can make a
else.
hunt roll if you have other questions about the. You already asked about the integrity of the place and the nature of it. You can
Yeah.
go ahead and make a hunt roll.
Yeah, I'm going to use my plant skill and ask, was this actually being used as a grain silo? Like, have the people of the town been using this as well? Are they in like while this cult's been hiding in it?
Yeah, it's a good question. Make a hunt roll.
5.
Take your token. You're going to notice on this floor. I mean, there's this fire built, and there's this pot of stew. There's all the markings on the wall, like I described already, that indicates that they've been here for a while. Whatever these people are doing. There's no real evidence of grain. So this is some kind of abandoned structure, or at least, or maybe the owner of the silo was part of the cult and has been using it in this way. But in any case, there's also a number of crates and there's a number of like crates and barrels and rolled up old tarps kind of pushed aside and tucked away into one corner of the room. Vera, what are you doing?
Get a, get a good look at these symbols on the walls and use my ritual symbol. I'm going to try to interpret them. Are any of these familiar? Are any of these, even if they're not familiar, indicating a particular kind of magical
Yeah.
or religious impetus?
Yeah, I think that's good. Make a hunt roll.
6.
Yes. It is clearly evil or witchcraft of some sort. These are not markings of any gods you know, and certainly nothing connected to the sisters.
I'll trade in that token for gold also.
Hmm. Give me a moment on that. Rios, what are you doing?
I think I mean, other than looting the body, or once I'm done looting the body, I might help Vero out with these translations a little bit because I also have symbols. But once that's sort of done, um, I think just pressing ever onwards. We know there's other people in here, so maybe a little sneaky approach.
Well, there's people
Um,
down below. You have not yet found out. You have not yet found the way down below.
oh, interesting. Then I think we'll certainly go looking for uh what like are there other ways down below, ladders or access points
Mm-hmm.
or
Make the hunt roll.
um sure. Again, I'm just gonna keep leaning on this torch to give me a little extra light, help me searching or darkness,
Yeah, I'll
again
give you that. Yeah,
symbols, or if there's a
I think darkness is good. Yeah.
okay, 2 die hunt roll, it's a 4.
There are no obvious doors, trapdoors, ladders, stairs as you kind of just scan the area and look around. Oveha, what are you
Interesting.
doing?
There's a bunch of like symbols on the walls and whatnot. Um and like I see like Ria's like looking around for ways down below because like we can hear people. I'm wondering if like the symbols get cut off anywhere as though there might be an illusion going on, like hiding the way down.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, you can take a hunt roll.
Yes, that's 2 dice because I have illusions. No, I lose all my tokens. Fuck you, dice roller.
Not great. How many tokens did you lose?
Only one, but
Hmm.
like I don't have any gold, so
Your question was not a bad one though. I mentioned to Maria earlier those stacks of crates and tarps and things all kind of pushed over on one side. And indeed, over there, the there are no symbols on that portion of the wall. The wall is kind of intermittently covered in them, but not over there. And indeed, if you start to look around, move the crates a little bit, kind of see what's there, there's a trapdoor on the ground. And where the trapdoor opens, like it's presumably left open a lot, and that's why there's no symbols there
mhm,
because there's no one's. It's the wall's not exposed to be drawn on. So you found the way down for sure.
mhm.
You hear now more clearly the voices coming from below. Oh, oh, please, please, please. I can't take it anymore. Why are you doing this to us? Why are you doing this to us? What do you do?
I'm opening the trapdoor and I'm going down. I motioned Rias to come over here.
What's everyone else doing?
You signal to the rest of us.
Hmm.
Yep, Rias will follow. Absolutely, we're kicking some ass.
Likewise.
Maria?
I think yeah, I'm gonna follow with the rest.
There is a sort of it's a ladder. Uh, you can start going down. As you go down a Beha, you are pressing closer, ever closer towards the set goal. What questions do you have?
As like I'm going down this ladder, I'm keeping my eye out for any person that is keeping watch because the trapdoor was pretty hidden, but they still probably don't want people coming down here. So is there anyone keeping guard?
Make a hunt roll.
I don't really think I can apply any of my things in this moment, so it'll be just one hunt to roll. And it's a 3. Dice roller, please.
You all kind of get down into the room. It's another space about the same size, same basic layout as the above, a circular room essentially. The ceiling's about 15 feet up once you get down there. You see a number of waterlogged bodies stacked very close to the landing of the ladder. They are stacked like cordwood. Men, women, children. Their flesh pale and spongy. It seems they just drop the bodies down and then drag them and stack them into the closest spot they can. A little further ahead, however, You see cages on the ground. These people have been here a little bit longer. They have been functioning as a living larder, all of them missing hands, arms, legs. It makes them easy to store in the cages, which were previously for animals. They are whining. They are in pain. They don't know what's going on. As you walk by them, a person on the ground with no legs mutters to you from the cage, "Please, please just kill me. Kill me. Kill me." And then you hear from somewhere just outside of the range of your torchlight on the far side of the room, you hear a sort of Rias, what do you do? You're next in.
If we made it down to the bottom of the ladder at this point.
You're
Yes?
all in the room, yeah.
Great. I start hearing this noise. I'm going to get down on my knees, put my spear and shield on the ground, slowly begin stripping off my upper garments, and begin to cast Beast. Just preparing the ritual for now.
Preparing the ritual sounds good to me. Vera, what are you doing?
How steep is this ladder?
It's a perfectly vertical ladder.
Traditional ladder. So I don't think I was able to get the snake down here.
So let's just wrap it around you, I guess.
It might be too heavy to carry. Honestly, I'm not trying to make my life more difficult, but yeah. I mean, if we can think I can kind of clamber down, holding on for dear life with this thing, then can I see what's making this noise?
Make a hunt roll.
I don't know that I have anything that's going to help with that. That's a 4.
Take your token. You hear very similar sounds from the darkness behind you. These things are flanking you on either side, front and back. Mario, what are you doing?
I know exactly what I'm doing. So there's corpses here, right?
There are corpses and there are people trapped in cages.
We need more manpower. I'm going to raise one of the corpses as my servant.
I love it. We have one ritual being prepared, another ritual. Let's do the corpse ritual. I think that's really good. I like that right here. Take us through the risk roll, Maria. Do you have the text in front of you?
What text are you talking exactly?
The text of the risk roll. When you attempt a risky task, say what you hope will happen, and ask the GM and the other players what could possibly
I do not have it direct.
Okay.
I do not have it directly in front of me, but you just said it, so yeah.
Do you have the on the reference sheet on the character keeper?
Oh, is it? Okay.
I forgot about that. Yeah. So, and so since I have a skill in rituals, I'll be taking a light die at first, and I automatically roll with a 1 light, 1 dark because I've got a skill in rituals, and this is a ritual.
Yeah. Back up though and ask us what could go wrong.
Yeah, what could go wrong?
The ghouls animate, but you don't have control over them.
Because I think just animating these creatures just creates more prey effectively. They're not going to be any help of any use. And I think it's going to cause the people in the cages to fucking panic because, oh no, the dead are rising.
Yeah, just kind of build off of that. You animate the corpses, but they've already had so much taken off of them that they're functionally worthless.
That's exactly what I was going to say, that they've already been sort of chopped up.
Oh, oof. Well, these are all interesting outcomes. Let's go to. So you got your first two. You got your one light, one dark. It's up to you, Maria, if you want to ask for
Yeah.
devil's bargains.
Does anyone have any devil's bargains to offer?
No matter what, somebody, possibly this witch, detects you using magic, can smell magic being used.
I like that one. Anyone else?
I'm thinking. Maria, what page is your character on?
3.
Okay. Mm,
No matter what, you yourself will be touched with death.
I I think no matter what, you will be afflicted by the last horrified thoughts of these people before they died.
I would just second Rias's and sharpen it to say that witch magic is more noticeable, more alerting to whoever's down here.
I'm gonna go with the. I'm going to go with the alerting. Devil's bargains. That's 3 dice. So,
Two light, one dark. Let's have it.
5.
So this is going to come to a combat, and I will say that the using the magic or using the ritual to animate the ghouls is going to reduce the endurance of the combat by 1. Just give me the magic. I want to know what it looks like as you bring these things to life.
I think. I think like first off, like I since we've already established which I think like as I do not need to to touch these bodies to cast it, but I think like as I set my magic out, I can immediately feel like there is another witch here that like I can like and her spells are bloody. I can or his, which is not gender, but like I can feel the presence and magic of this witch and know they are feeling my own. I it's sort of like the idea of witchcraft specifically as a form of magic I've got at the moment is very much sort of bound to the land, to the culture, or the Navalis, or wherever you're at. So it's sort of like the magic that has settled into this place, this grain silo, like bloodstains in that case. And I sort of send my own power into that, the like sort of embedding it into the ground. Like if we're doing metaphors, like she's sort of like more, they're more like bloodstains. I'm more like sort of like roots, crawling roots, and like I sort of use that to like sort of send flickers of life into these like sort of mutilated corpses. Like I think I can only do like one at a time. So I go for whichever one looks the most like in most
Those whole, yeah.
yeah. And like it's sort of
I think a particularly tall and large.
yeah. And it sort of jerkily rises like a puppet that's having the strings pulled on.
I think as it comes up, it sort of like causes the other bodies to sort of like collapse a little bit, which also creates a bit of a barrier between you and the one behind you. And indeed, these things, they then just rush in. You hear their very, very heavy footfalls, and you hear their snuffling, their snorting, and their terrible, terrible squeal grunts. And you are being flanked front and back by 2 large, powerfully built pigmen. And they have enormous cleavers, and they raise them, and they are getting ready to bring them down atop you. Rias, it sounds like you're using your ritual as your weapon, essentially, in this case, which I think is good because it's a close range sort of thing. Tell me how you're exposed to danger and roll your weak point.
How am I exposed to danger? In this case, I mean, Rias in this form doesn't use weapons. It's close and it's brutal, and they at least have some reach on him. And
Indeed.
weak points, 5.
Oveja, same thing.
Uh, since like these are supernatural creatures, Abea is going to be using their magic. However, Rias, while transforming, probably drop the torch onto the ground, so that the light in here not very good.
Hmm. Oh, maybe a body like tumbles over it, right?
Mhm.
So it's just kind of like squelched. So you're kind of fighting these things and just like a little flicker, glimmer of light.
Mhm.
Vero?
4.
Vero brought a serrated knife to a cleaver fight. I don't think I'm not going to be able to go toe to toe with these guys. I think I'm going to try to, if you'll let me, try to get out of the way and use the snake to lower their endurance by like tangling up their legs or something. So his exposure,
I think endurance lowering is done. There's no
if
more
that's
of
already
that. So,
happened.
yeah,
All right, then
yeah.
either way, I'm going to try to be fighting from range. So I'm
Mm.
trying to get away before I'm
Yeah,
ready.
I think fighting from range is fine. That sounds great. And so you're not joining the combat then.
Whereas weak point, oh, so I can't. I've got a blowgun.
You can, you can just like hang back and not join the combat. And if there's a point for you to be helpful, I'll let you know.
Honestly, I think that's where Vera's at this point. I think he's trying to get out from under these big people. He's got nothing to fight them with except the snake.
Hmm. Mario, what about you?
Well, I think that aside from the dark as has been established, my weapon's actually fairly good at dealing with these with a hooked sword. I mean, that's good at dealing with cleavers, but uh, I though it won't like it's already animated and that's not going to end unless I actively make a willed choice to do it. I think I do need to put a segment of my thought and also
Yeah,
controlling
that makes
this.
sense. Yeah,
Well,
yeah. Go ahead and roll weak point.
yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah, that my 1.6.
Fantastic. There's a question in chat about using the snake to add a light die as the task serpent would. I like that. I think it's a good use of it. You'll roll it separate so it doesn't count against weak point. So our weak points are 6, 5, and 4. Their endurance would be 10 together, but because of the collapsed corpses and the one that's stumbling about, it reduces their endurance down to 9. Rias, you can make the roll. It's going to be a combat 3, and then we'll get a little bonus roll from Vero. Vero, you can do the bonus roll right now.
Do you want it now, or should I say
Yeah,
that?
just go ahead and roll it and see what it is.
I rolled a
It is
6.
endurance 9, 5, and 4 were hit.
Oh, okay, great. One is and Vero got 6. So 5 and 4 were hit, which is not great, but you do defeat these things. Let's just begin. Rias, start.
Yeah, Rias assumes his half tiger shape, and uh, I think the corpses are tying up one of them, and so Rias focuses all of his efforts on the other, and maybe even just like uh, with sort of permission from the other treasure hunters, Rias just kind of solos this thing. Let's all the rest of them combine all of their efforts while he goes full forest monster on this thing, and it's a brutal, nasty fight. You can only see glimpses of it, and you maybe even hear more of it than you see because Rias just tackles this thing back into darkness, and you just hear like this terrible pig squealing, lion roaring. But at one point, there is this bright azure light that comes from that corridor of darkness. And we see this cleaver and this bloody pig with just flesh bits dangling off of it from where he's already sort of mauled it. But it's gotten its cleaver and it is pressing through a manifested constellation of the shield that is sort of glowing in front of Rias. Um, and in that moment, you see Rias's eyes, the pupils like shrink down to the size of periods, and he just goes at this thing, gets his maw around its throat, and rips. And there is just darkness in that side. I'll be
Nice.
marking my amulet of protection.
Nice. Vero, Maria, and Obeha, you will combine to kill the other one. Vero, go ahead and start.
Well, this branch-sized serpent gets around the other one's legs and starts to constrict them together, so he just goes whumph right over and is now prone, face down, and legs bound for the other two to take care of.
Obeha.
I think Obeha is like trying to like get their staff into the ground, but because it is cobble and whatnot, it's not sticking. And therefore I have to make my own ground. And I stab my staff through my foot. Uh, and I start to cast my magic arcane blast, trying to rip at like the flesh of this creature that is laying prone on the ground, just trying to tear it piece by piece, but it's still trying to crawl on forward.
Is that where the hit comes from? You stabbing
Yeah,
yourself?
yeah,
Nice.
because like I needed to hit, but like Ria's got the other one, and this one is on the ground. So
I love it. It's great. Make a note the condition as well. Stabbed foot. Maria, finish it off.
I think like I sort of started combat stance, but like as like the others sort of pin this pigman down, I kind of like sort of settled to just to sort of I've got my sword up, but I'm mostly focusing on controlling the zombie and like its movements are like it doesn't have to worry about like things that would like destroy humans and like the muscles are powered by pure magic, so I think like at the end, like it just like it sort of wraps its arms around the pig man's neck, and it sort of twists with like this impossible for any living human strength, and it snaps its neck.
Nice. I like the idea of like so much like just raw like magical power is powering this thing that it like it breaks the thing's neck but also like rips off the arms of the corpse, and it all just kind
Oh,
of
I like that. I like that. Yeah,
collapses down in this heavy, thick, wet, meaty spatter. You can take a moment to get your bearings. Vero, roll gold 9. Two, not bad. You all can decide what is valuable from these things, and name it, and then decide who gets it. I want to take a
I
moment
think
to just. Oh, go ahead, Abeha.
I think I'm gonna take some boar tusks from like one of the creatures because
Oh,
like
okay, yeah. We can have two sets of those if we want, and then whoever gets them can sell them for a gold. Aaron, your audio got squelched, so say that
Oh,
again.
sorry. I don't know that I need to take it because others might be in more need, but I'd just like to suggest that maybe there's jewelry on these pigmen that indicates that they were once otherwise, like
Oh,
Ooh.
that's
a
interesting. I like that. Yeah.
earring or something
Oh,
that
like a ring that's
a
like
little too, yeah, like
it's
squeezed into the flesh.
squeezed over
Yeah,
around a
I
big
think I
knuckle.
think I
Yeah.
think I think if Rias doesn't object, I'm going to take one of the other golds to fulfill my burden, and I'm going to, yeah, like sort of. I think the one whose neck I had the corpse break. I think that like its head's an off at a sort of like twisted angle, and like that you can see that like there's earrings, an earring punched into its ear that doesn't quite look like right. Like it looks like it's been it was made when the ear looked different. And I think
Mm,
I like pry that earring out. Like,
yeah. It all just counts as one gold, um, money wise, or in terms of how you note it. Um, you do all this. You're sawing the tusks off this thing. Rias, what about all of these people in the cages? They're they are really delirious. They're moaning. They're in pain. A couple of them are like asking for mercy killings. What are you doing right now?
I'm gonna try and find somebody that is a little more lucid maybe than the others.
Yeah.
And I want to get some answers. I want to know, what do they know about the people who put them here? Um, uh, we found these pigmen. Are there other threats? And also like state, we are here to help. And I do have these numbing herbs, and so I'll distribute, those to who I can, to the people who
I think
are
the
in
numbing herbs
pain.
are a good basis to get 2 dice on your hunt roll. So go ahead.
Sure. Fantastic. Six.
Mm, fantastic. Um, hmm. What are your questions? What are you asking them? What are you doing?
Yeah, I find somebody who maybe just is like lost a hand, maybe one of the newer victims, um, or alternatively somebody that the others sort of defer to as somebody with authority. Although they're all in cages, so I don't know who that would be. But Rias will like slide these herbs through, and or even just say, let me see your arm, and begin like just sort of like rubbing them across, and just very gently compared to the fact that he was just a big giant tiger man. He says, "Who did this to you? We're here to help. Uh, are there more of them? Uh, how long have you been down here?"
This person will tell you what they know. Sometimes people come and collect one of them and drag them down below. And indeed, you'll see there's a stone staircase that spirals down to a lower level, even. They get dragged down below where they have something cut off of them, and then they're put back into the cage. And then they take the body part up for feasting and stew. All of them will kind of tell you some version of this story. There's a general sort of like moaning and wailing, quiet but in distress, and people just sort of oh. They don't even ask to be released, which is weird.
I
And
know.
it's
So, like, do they have families here in Karamir?
before you can get much more out of them, all of them are kind of moaning and crying, but then they all get very quiet and their eyes widen all at once. And in all their places, in their cages, wherever they're at, even some of the bodies, their eyes open and they all turn and look at Maria. We see you, witch. Come down below and show us your power. They all speak in unison, and then after they give their message, they go back to being dead bodies or people in pain. You do see the stairs. What are you all doing?
Well, I think that
Uh, Go
um
ahead.
wait, what question? Would down the stairs be a new set?
No.
Ah, okay, yeah. All right then. Well, I think I'm not gonna go down there alone, but providing that the others will back me up, I will accept the challenge.
It might take some time to free the others, like to open the cages at least.
Yeah.
Presuming I can do so.
Only
would-
some of
Mhm.
them
I would help
leave.
Rias with that.
Only some of them leave. Others have grown accustomed to their circumstances.
Probably can't physically leave because like some have their legs cut off.
Obeha, what are you doing?
I think I think Obeha, like as like we're opening cages and like the sort of idea is percolating in their mind, I think they quite suddenly just start saying, "There was a there was a bad old woman who lived in the corn. Only children knew she was real. She had 7 souls and couldn't die the same way twice. So all the children poisoned her. Then they stabbed her and smashed her and sliced her and burnt her and drowned her. And then they threw her in the well. And that's 6 and 7 makes all. Wonder if this is the well. Hmm, maybe not."
Maria, you said you were going down the stairs.
No.
You will see a large group of cannibals down below. They are all arrayed on the floor, on the ground, kneeling before what appears to be a shrine of some sort. What it really is a sort of effigy. It's an effigy that's been fashioned from flensed bones, but not just a skeleton sitting there, no. The bones have been disassembled and reimagined and reformed to make a large bone humanoid structure that is sitting up against the wall. It is draped in cloth. It looks like a woman or a wizard with their hands raised up, looming or perhaps blessing all of her followers. This collection of bones. There are candles laid out. That's why you can see. And one of the people at the front of this congregation holds up what appears to be a freshly severed leg, holds it up, barely able to lift it from the weight, and says, "You have given so much to us all this time, and we have prayed, and we have done as you have told us to do, and lo, we were blessed. The bursting of the dam. We know it has unleashed you. We know you're out there somewhere. And we will redouble our efforts in your name. We will bring them all here. We will feast on the flesh as you have commanded us. We will do so until our bellies are distended and burst." And everyone now you can see has a hand, a finger, a bone. They're chewing, they're sucking. It is a rapturous noise, it's an ecstatic noise. Mario, what do you do?
I think. hmm, I think I sort of like just look at them with my head held high and say, I'd say, "Do not touch me. I was called here by your master."
They all look up and they will all start to stand. And then they all snap to attention and their eyes widen and turn black. Black as obsidian. And they speak with one voice. "Yes, come find us. We are waiting for you. We are not here. We are in the shadow. In the shadow of the drowned." Land. And then they all snap out of it and rush you. Please tell me how you're exposed to danger and roll your weak point.
I think I'm exposed to danger. I think I'm exposed to danger because, well, like there's one of me and a ton of them, but I have a really cool and cinematic idea that I want to try. So
If you have time to do it, I want to hear it.
I want to use my ghoul ritual on their effigy. I want to break it apart and like basically desecrate it
The
as
others
like
will have to provide cover for you so that you can do the magic. You can't do it in a blink of an eye.
yeah. All right.
But if the
So
others want to do that, they certainly can.
We spend 3 hunt tokens collectively to just sort of narratively accomplish this.
I like it. If you want to, like, if you all want to spend 3 tokens and just describe holding these people back and then animating the effigy to destroy them, I think that's great.
I'll donate one. Looks like Vera will donate one.
I'll donate one since I'm the one doing it.
I don't
Fantastic.
have any.
Let's take a quick 5 minute break and then we'll come back and we'll narrate what this looks like. And then that'll be the end. These cultists begin rushing in as soon as the witch has spoken her words. Their eyes are bloodshot. Their teeth and mouths are ringed with red. They have meat and other dribblings spraying from their mouths as they rush forth in a wild frenzy. Vero, Rias, Obeja, you're keeping this crowd under control while Maria eventually steps back and brings the effigy to life. I want the crowd control portion first. We'll start with Rias.
Yeah. Rias, since it sounds like there's a sort of staircase, right?
There is, yeah.
Yeah. So Rias is right behind Maria, and when they start rushing, Rias might actually step forward, and it's bow and arrow, and he expertly targets. He pulls out like 4 arrows at once, just kind of like pinched between his fingers, but he expertly launches them down across the staircase as they're coming up or down it, and catches like the first one in the knees, and so they tumble. The others have to now climb over them, and it just kind of happens again. They start coming forward, and Rias like gets another one in the knee. Takes a couple steps back, waits for them to sort of climb over, gets the next one, in the thigh, and the same thing. And every time they do, it's just the people who are behind them have to keep climbing up and up and up. And Rias is doing a fighting retreat to help cover the others.
Vero, give me your part.
Vera brought along this chalice. He managed to rescue it from the vault, or maybe it was floating by when all hell broke loose. So he's got this chalice. He's seen Horgus use it. He's going to speak the command word and send a gout of water down onto the stairs, simply creating like a water slide. So anyone who's trying to clamber, even those who clamber over the fallen cannibals that Rias has shot, are going to find themselves trying to claw their way up water, gushing down into their faces and sweeping them back.
I love it. Obeya.
I think any of the more dexterous ones that manage to power through the pain, power through the water, I think like the moment that like they come up real close, I think Obeya's just taking the end of their staff with the sharp point and just stabbing them either in hands to let them let go, slide back down because of the water, or stab them in the head outright, just trying to kill them.
Maria, bring the effigy to life, which turns the tide.
I think I think I can sort of throw my hands out dramatically. Like there's, and I want to say like sort of like in the voice I would use like well I'm free like your master is nothing, and the effigy which is made like this big twisted thing like all these bones like the bones fall apart, like they wrench away from it, like the robe the effigy is in just sort of collapses to the ground, and like the individual bones like sort of like slot back into place, almost like finding the original skeletons they were from, and um like all three, and like there's like three, four of them or something. I don't know how many. Anyway, they sort of they it's I don't think Mario can actually like can like command multiple bodies to like go in on a full offensive thing, but like they sort of take like a combat stance against the cult, like squaring up together. And I think fundamentally this isn't so much a physical attack; it isn't a moral attack. Like destroying their idol, destroying everything they've done. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is break their morale. Like,
Mm, I see. So they all start to like scatter when they realize what's happening, when they realize that that at this moment at least the power of the witch they follow is is broken to some degree. That will allow you all to just finish them off essentially at your not at your leisure, but it allows you to get get the advantage on them, surge forward, and deal with them. There was only about a couple dozen in the end, which is not nothing. Anything that they have taken from their victims that's of value will be down here. We will roll a endurance. I think it'd be an endurance 11 or a gold 11 rather to see what it is. Obeha, you can roll gold 11.
2 gold.
Fantastic. You all can divide that up however you wish. Back at camp, you have met the set goal of finding the altar of the witch or the shrine of the witch, and I will see you all back at camp.